The housing market is teetering on a cliff. While headlines scream about inventory spikes in Austin and Phoenix, regional builders are quietly pouring concrete for 10,000 new units this month alone. You are standing at a critical junction where one wrong move could cost you six figures in equity or trap you in a depreciating asset. We are cutting through the noise to reveal if this is a correction or a complete collapse. The biggest financial mistake of your life and buying your dream home at the perfect moment. We are going to look at three critical indicators that tell the real story of the current market. And that third point is the one thing most news outlets are completely ignoring, yet it is the primary engine driving housing prices right now. Grab a glass of water and let us get to it. Let us start with the first and most obvious factor, the inventory versus demand dynamic. If you look at the NAR, or the National Association of Realtors, data from early 2024, you will see a strange trend. Active listings have been climbing, but they are climbing from an incredibly low base. For years, we dealt with a historic shortage. Think back to 2021 and 2022. Properties were being snatched up in hours, sometimes with 20 or 30 cash offers on the table. Now, we are seeing homes sit on the market for 30, 40, or 50 days. Does that mean the bubble is popping? Not exactly. What is happening is a return to a more seasonal, normalized market. When inventory rises, you have more leverage as a buyer. I know a real estate investor in Phoenix named Marcus who tracked his local listings for 18 months. In mid 2023, he was seeing two homes hit the market on his street every month. By early 2024, that number jumped to seven. Did prices crash in his neighborhood? No, they stabilized. He saw price growth shift from a frantic double-digit climb to a more sustainable 3 to 5%. That is not a crash. That is a cooling. That leads us to the second, more nuanced factor, the lock-in effect of current interest rates. If you currently own a home with a mortgage rate at 3%, you are effectively trapped. If you sell your house to move, you have to trade that 3% rate for something closer to 7%. This phenomenon is known as the golden handcuffs. It is the reason why inventory remains historically thin even when people want to move. They simply cannot afford to leave. Think about the math. A $400,000 mortgage at 3% is roughly $1,600 a month in principal and interest. That same loan at 7% jumps to over $2,600. That is a $1,000 difference every single month. Most families do not have an extra $12,000 a year just lying around. So, they stay. And because they stay, the supply of high-quality, pre-owned homes remains suppressed. This is the main reason why prices have not plummeted despite the sharp interest rate hikes we have seen since 2022. If you are finding this perspective helpful, hit subscribe. I release deep dives like this every single week to help you make sense of the financial noise, and we have a much bigger point coming up next. All right, let us get to the one I've been saving for you. This is the third indicator, and it is the one that really separates the amateur observers from the experts. It is the demographic wall of demand. Many people expect a crash because they are looking at the 2008 financial crisis as a blueprint. But the circumstances are entirely different. In 2008, we had a massive oversupply of housing and a generation of bad lending practices. Today, we are facing a massive wave of millennials hitting their peak earning and household formation years. According to research from the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University, the number of households headed by people aged 30 to 44 has ballooned. This is the demographic sweet spot for first-time home buying. Even if interest rates stay high, these people have a fundamental need for shelter. They are not just looking for an investment. They are looking for a place to raise families. This is the floor that prevents a total price collapse. Think of it as a constant pressure valve. Demand might slow down, but it is not going to vanish. While speculators might pull back, families remain active. This persistent demand is why, even in regions with high inventory, prices have remained remarkably sticky. Here is the kicker, and this is what really matters: institutional capital. Over the last 5 years, massive investment firms have moved into the single-family rental market. They are buying thousands of homes and converting them into professional rental portfolios. They do not care about the mortgage rate for the next 24 months. They are looking at 15 to 20-year cycles. Every time a house hits the market that is affordable, these firms are often the ones providing the floor for the price. When you combine millennial demand with institutional backing, you get a market that is fundamentally resistant to the kind of crash that requires a total financial meltdown. Let that sink in. The market is not just a bunch of people buying and selling anymore. It is a complex ecosystem where supply is artificially restricted by homeowners who cannot afford to move, and demand is artificially propped up by a massive demographic wave and institutional buyers who are playing the long game. So, what does this mean for you? It means that if you are waiting for a 2008 style crash, you might be waiting for a long time. You might see regional dips. You might see price stagnation in certain overpriced zip codes, but a nationwide collapse, the data just does not support it. Instead of timing the crash, focus on your own financial strength. Can you afford the payment at today's rates? Do you plan on living there for at least 5 to 7 years? If the answer to both of those is yes, then the market noise becomes background static. You just learned that inventory is finally normalizing. The golden handcuffs are keeping supply tight, and a powerful demographic wave is acting as a permanent floor for demand. These three factors combined create a market that is far more stable than the headlines suggest. If you found value in this breakdown, share it with someone you know who is stressing out about the housing market. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's look at the hidden risks in the banking sector. I will see you in the next one.